The desert sun beat down hard on the forward operating base, its heat clinging to every inch of steel, sand, and skin. Inside a dim communications hut, a woman crouched low, sweat beading her forehead as she carefully reconnected a tangle of wires behind an old radio set. The place smelled of dust and machine oil, the hum of static in the air. Her name was Claire Dawson, though most on the base just called her comms tech. To the SEALs stationed there, she was the quiet civilian contractor who kept their radios alive, the one who patched their encrypted gear when it fried out in the middle of nowhere. She wasn't flashy. She didn't wear rank. She kept to herself, blending into the background. That morning had been like any other. She had a screwdriver between her teeth, wires in her hands, and a headset dangling off her shoulder when the door creaked open. "Tech, you in here?" a voice called. Claire didn't look up. "Depends who's asking. If it's another guy who tried to dunk his handset in motor oil, I'm charging triple this time." The voice chuckled. Boots clomped closer. And then, silence. When she finally turned, wiping her hands on a rag, she froze. The SEAL standing there, tall, broad-shouldered, his uniform dusty from the field, was standing stiffly at attention. His eyes locked on hers, unblinking. And then he did something no one on that base had ever done to her. He raised his hand in a sharp salute. "Ma'am," he said firmly. The screwdriver slipped from her grip and clattered on the floor. For a moment, Claire couldn't move. Her throat tightened, her stomach dropped, and her hands trembled ever so slightly. No one here knew. No one was supposed to know. She had buried that part of her life years ago, locked it deep where even she barely dared to touch it. But this SEAL, this stranger, had just unlocked it with one word. Dash dash dash. Claire forced a weak laugh. "You must be mistaking me for someone else, sailor." But he didn't waver. His salute held steady, his jaw clenched. "No mistake, ma'am. Lieutenant Commander Claire Dawson, Navy Cross, Silver Star. Afghanistan, Helmand Province. You saved my platoon." Her knees nearly gave out. Memories she thought were long dead came rushing back. Gunfire in the night, the smell of burning diesel, the cries of men under fire. She had worn the uniform once, bled in it, commanded in it. But after that last mission, after the price it demanded, she had walked away. The Navy lost an officer. The world gained an invisible woman. She had never told anyone here about her past. She was just comms tech. Until now. Dash dash dash. "Lower that hand, sailor," she whispered. "That woman doesn't exist anymore." The SEAL dropped his salute but stepped closer. "With respect, ma'am, she exists. She's standing right in front of me. And I owe her my life." Claire blinked, studying him. His face was older now, weathered by war, but something in his eyes stirred a memory. A dusty valley, an ambush, a young corpsman scrambling for cover. "My God," she murmured. "You were there. The convoy in Helmand." He nodded. "Petty Officer Ramirez, you dragged me out when I was hit. Everyone thought we were done for, but you kept us together. You called in support even after you were hit yourself. I never forgot." The room spun slightly. She sat down on a stool, her hands clutching the rag like a lifeline. She had saved men that night, yes. But she had also lost friends. Too many. It was the mission that finally broke her, the one that sent her home with scars inside no metal could heal. "I don't talk about that," she said softly. "Not here. Not anywhere." "I understand," Ramirez said. His voice carried no judgment, only gratitude. "But the men deserve to know who's been keeping their lifeline running. They should know the woman behind these radios isn't just a tech. She's a warrior." Claire shook her head firmly. "No, I didn't come here to be remembered. I came here to serve quietly. That's enough." Dash dash dash. Word spread anyway. The SEALs noticed Ramirez's sudden respect, the way he called her, "ma'am," the way he stood a little straighter around her. Soon, whispers trickled across the base. Soldiers and sailors who had never given her more than a passing nod now looked at her differently. Some with awe, some with curiosity. One evening, a young SEAL recruit knocked on her hut's door. "Ma'am," he stammered, "is it true? You were in Helmand?" She wanted to shut him down. Tell him to leave. But when she saw his nervous eyes, she saw the same look she'd seen in the eyes of countless young men she had once led. Hungry, unsure, Afraid of failing. Yes, she admitted quietly. The recruit swallowed hard. How did you not break? Out there. Claire looked away. Who said I didn't? The truth hung heavy. She had broken. She had walked away. But maybe that was the part these young men needed to hear, that even the strongest stumble, and still find a way to serve again. Over the next weeks, more came. Not in crowds, never openly. One by one, in whispers and late-night visits, they sought her out. Not for tales of glory, but for advice. For comfort. For truth. And she gave it to them. She told them about fear, the kind that makes your bones shake, but also sharpens your focus. She told them about loss, about carrying the weight of names etched in stone. And she told them about kindness, that even in war, a moment of compassion can save more than bullets ever could. Claire became something unexpected, not just the woman who fixed their comms, but the quiet anchor in a place where anchors were hard to find. But the past wasn't done with her. One night, alarms blared. A patrol had gone silent beyond the ridge. Radios dead. No signals. Command scrambled to piece it together, but without working comms, the SEAL team out there was blind, cut off, vulnerable. Claire was already sprinting to the ops center, toolbox in hand. Who's got their gear? She demanded. A sergeant shoved a battered headset toward her. It's fried. Nothing's going through. She dove into the wires, fingers flying. The room buzzed with tension. Minutes mattered. Every second was a chance those men might not come back. Talk to me, Tech, an officer pressed. Don't rush me, she snapped. If I cross these wrong, you'll fry the whole grid. She bit her lip, resoldered a lead, rerouted the signal. And then, static cleared. Voices cracked through. This is Bravo 2. Under fire. Repeat, we are under heavy fire. The room came alive. Orders flew. Support was scrambled. But Claire's hand shot up. Their position's off. That's not where they are. That valley echoes. It'll throw your triangulation off by a mile. The commander frowned. How do you know? Because I've been there, she said, her voice low but steady. Trust me. For a beat, silence. Then, all right, Dawson. Mark the coordinates. Her fingers flew across the map. Air support shifted course. Minutes later, the sounds of chaos on the radio gave way to cheers. The SEALs were alive. When the patrol returned, battered but breathing, Ramirez found her outside the comms hut. He stood at attention once more. Ma'am, he said, voice thick with emotion. You saved them. Again. Claire swallowed hard. She didn't feel like a hero. She never had. She was just someone who couldn't stand by when lives were on the line. But when the returning SEALs spotted her, one by one they followed Ramirez's lead. Salutes rose in the twilight, not of formality, but of respect. Claire's eyes burned as she looked at them, these warriors, these young men who reminded her so much of the ones she had once led. And in that moment, something inside her finally eased. The past wasn't a wound anymore. It was a gift she could still share. She straightened her back, lifted her chin, and gave the first salute she had offered in years.